Springer, you and I see transform Autobot City. Perceptor, tell Blast to the Radio Prime for reinforcements. Alright guys, today we are doing another G1 Transformers review. If you didn't know by the quote, we are reviewing the one and only Ultra Magnus, as previously discussed in my other Transformers review of the Generation 1 Starscream. And these are actually somewhat compatible with each other due to the fact that they are both Diaclone molds. Give me a sec to just sort the camera out. I need to lower it down. I'm used to using game boxes because, well, I'm shit at reviewing. So this is a Generation 1 Ultra Magnus. Now mine is 100% complete. I paid about £35 for it complete. Let's just remove all these accessories, the gun, the little Diaclone thing. Originally there would have been wheels on this. We'll just move these to the side. And of course, the gargantuan fists. We'll see what. Now, I just a few minutes ago, after having my dinner, watched the Collector 75's video of the Diaclone, and my gosh, 10 years ago that video was released, and it still holds up well. His video was about 10 years old, because he did review the Diaclone version of Ultra Magnus in 2009, and I must apologise if I'm not up to form. I've had about 2 beers, and due to medication for Tourette's, it makes me a lightweight, and I'm basically drunk already. So we're going to do some size comparisons. Here he is with my Powermaster Optimus Prime, and they're about roughly the same scale. Powermaster Prime's a little bit longer, and they're both really nice to display together. I do like them. If Ultra Magnus was more accurate, he would have a darker blue, but I do like this, like, aqua blue. I do prefer it actually. And this is the fully painted version with the rubber tires and the paint. I do have the plastic version with the unpainted plastic version, which I customised into Nemesis Prime, and I just simply glued a piece of laminate plastic to the back to make the windows. So that's the unpainted Ultra Magnus, which has been turned into Nemesis Prime. Other characters he was briefly seen with in the movie was Starscream, where Starscream is firing at them as they are trying to, ready Autobot City as Ultra Magnus is issuing commands. Starscream fires at him, so they were briefly seen with him. And I don't have Galvatron, but we are going to do a scale with Megatron. Obviously, Megatron is a lot bigger. Megatron is a Walther P38 handgun or sidearm. As you can see, the scale just is completely off the chart. Megatron's way too bloody big. You'd have to get the Transformer size of Metroplex to wield him. And Metroplex would have to be the size of me to be in scale with any of these guys. So let's just move the trailer out of the way. It just simply hooks on via this little port here, which is crotch, and this part here. Now, this obviously has the chrome, and since it's the rear shoot, it has the shortened smokestacks, but it also has die cast in the feet and this chest portion here, which is great. Now, because it's a Diaclone, you can open these, and I don't know anyone that doesn't do this, that doesn't store the fists in there. So that's pretty damn cool. Transform to remote mode is exactly the same as Optimus Prime. It also has knee articulation, which is cool, and the chrome's not scraped off there, surprisingly. That's one thing that's quite... And it also has the rub symbol. So we can activate it. Oh, yeah, it wants to cooperate. Hold on. Let me just activate it again. Can sort of see it right there. Nemesis Prime also has it, but it shows he's an Autobot. So you get the you basically, now when you do these, a lot of people say slide them out. No, you actually pull them back and then slide them out. And we will discuss the articulation in individual modes. Come on, camera, focus, focus. There we go. Pull these out, open that out, flip the head around. I do like this guy. That's why I've nicknamed myself Ultra Magnus Prime on my Instagram and Facebook, because I do like this guy. And this is what I call Ultra Magnus Prime, because, well, he's a prime body. Now, for articulation, you can sort of say his head goes up, but it doesn't really do anything. His arms run some really nice ratchet joints. They can go in and out, like Starscream. You have a 90-degree bend at the elbow, as well as a rotation. So, 9100 is going to kill me for this. You can get him doing the dab. Yeah, and because of the way the hands peg in, they rotate. He can hold the gun on this peg. I did modify it so this piece was missing here so it could hold it a bit better. His legs bend backward, and since they bend at the knee, you can get them all the way back. But they do bend at the knee, and the foot moves, which is pretty cool. To transform into Ultra Magnus mode is very, very simple. Just fold the arms back, slide them in, put these back, open this, and pop in the fists. I don't know anyone who doesn't store the fists in here, and it's a genius method. It is a very good method. Oh, and also fold the feet now. And there you go, you got that part. Now we're going to elevate the camera up. Well, not yet. Take your spare parts, put them off to the side. You're going to need your fists, your gun, and your little chair thingy. Now, we're going to come to this part. Now, this part obviously has the firing missiles, which fire off, and I must say, like... Oh, I missed my hand. That's actually pretty powerful. It doesn't hurt, per se, but it is pretty powerful for a missile launcher. Now, obviously, this reissue, they were really extended. Of course, I have shortened them down, but I did fuck up the process and I had to shorten down the missile launchers ever so slightly. You won't see it. There's just a little barrel bit on the end that I just sanded off. Now, to transform it, it's very simple. It's all most of its parts form. Remove that. And then flip these in. Well, you could do, or you could just pull it around. Oh, by the way, this does have a diclone thing with Starscream that I forgot to show you. Well, you remove these. I mean, you're going to need them. You can do that. And you could put these in here. But also what you could do is you could display Starscream, the G1 diclone jet on here like that. And that was pretty cool. So back to robot mode. Flip these down and they will knock these panels out of the way. Also, these can open while it's in vehicle mode, to allow other vehicles to board them, and this can go down and stuff, allow vehicles to drive up. So that was pretty cool. Let's just get all these back. Unfortunately, if you do keep these deployed and you want to have them like feet, you're going to be left with those for the legs, so best have them like this. This unit, basically, if I just elevate the camera up now, because this guy gets pretty tall. He's a tall figure, that's what I liked about him. These two holes here will peg into those pegs, which correspond with the crotch piece when in vehicle mode. So peg those bad boys in like that. And they're a bit stiff to get in. I like to kind of push the feet in a bit. Just kind of hold everything together. Take the arms like that. They're double extenders, so they extend here and they extend here. Go them around, bend them a bit. Take the crotch, and you can see there's little bits there. They'll just smush into there quite nicely. Shoulder cannons will peg into these parts right here. That. The gargantuan fists will go in here. And then the gun, you use this big post for robot mode, and I like how it's angled, so that will go in there. And then the chest will clip in here. And you take this part off, shove it on the top, and there is Ultra Magnus in his G1 robot mode. And I must say, this is very, very impressive. When I got this guy, I just got him because I needed him for the collection. He wasn't a majority character to buy. Like, he wasn't one of the important ones to get, like Megatron and Prime were. I got him because I saw him and I took the opportunity, and I must say, I don't regret it, actually. He's really grown on me. I got him years ago. He's really grown on me. I really like him. He's right here. He's in scale with Prime. My Power Master Prime. As you can see, he is a lot bigger than the current body of Prime. I'll just transform the trailer real quick. I can't remember who Ultra Magnus was voiced by, sadly, but I do know that he did have some interaction with Leonard Nimoy, who voiced Galvatron in the G1 movie. So that's a bit of fact for you. Although in season 3 and 4, Frank Welker came back to play Galvatron, which I thought was kind of strange. Had Prime be a Power Master, he'd be about just the same size. Yeah. I do have the weapons, I've just not got them displayed on them. But, there's Prime. Other Autobots include Grimlock, who is pretty small compared to him. Grimlock should really be the same size, or bigger. But, doesn't matter. Power Glide, or Skydive, I think its name is. Let me just transform him real quick. Unfortunately, though, his legs like to slip off, so it's quite tight here. And when I do pull this, it's not broken. It just needs to slide back on, really. It's a bit annoying, but it's nothing I can't live with. So, one of the aerobots, like I said. I'm not going to put him down on the ground because he's very tiny, but you can just sort of see the scale that the aerobots were done at, and it really was pretty silly. Megatron, I'll just transform him. He's getting a lot easier now. I remember when I first tightened joints, and they were really hard to do. Now he's become a lot easier because I've transformed him so much. Megatron is a great piece, by the way. I've previously gushed about him in my Starscream video and in his own video where I went completely crazy at the beginning and just started laughing my head off. So here is Megatron compared to Ultra Magnus. He stands a good height. I mean, Ultra Magnus was pretty big anyway. I mean, if you've seen the Masterpiece version, he's pretty big. Of course, I do have all the accessories you saw previously when I compared them in alt modes. So that's Megatron. Now, Ultra Magnus has one thing that makes him better than most G1s, and that is arm articulation. He's not just a simple swivel or an elbow bend like most others. He actually has quite a bit of articulation, which I like how it was put into him. So, as you can see, very loud ratchets here. You can sort of use this as a forward armpit joint if you wanted to. He has, and this is very loose, he has a bend at the elbow, which is also ratcheted. He has a bicep swivel. If you wanted to get him to point his arms forward, you just extend these, and the hand came off. Extend the bicep portion like that. And just, oh, bloody hell. And get him doing that, so he can block his attacks, which is pretty cool. It looks good from the front, but from the side it looks a bit weird. And also, if you use the gun as leverage point, you do get some wrist swivel. Of course, legs don't do anything, but you don't really need them to do... Bloody hell. You don't really need them to do anything. You can just roll him because his wheels still work in this mode. And he's got a pretty good presence to him, provided you look at him from the front. If you look at him from the back, yeah, the illusion kind of breaks apart. It spoils the figure at the back, but if you were to get the Masterpiece version that they've done, it's a great piece, and I've just popped that part there. He is a great, great figure, the original and the Masterpiece. If I transform Starscream here, because Starscream, I forgot to mention his review, Starscream did actually feature in Season 3 as a ghost who was then revived by Unicron. Unicron employed Starscream, big mistake, to pop his head onto Cybertron, and he was going to make Cybertron his new body. However, Unicron, of course, screwed up, because this is Starscream we're talking about. And Starscream is a complete, well, pardon my language, he's a complete cunt. I shouldn't say that on this video because that is a foul word and I absolutely hate saying it, but that's the only real way to describe Starscream. He is a dick. I like the character though, I do like him. He's just a dick to other Transformers. Like, as one of his lines he even issues to Springer and RC as they're running his pathetic fools, there is no escape. And of course he has to shoot his own foot off. But either way, here he is in road mode in scale. As you can see, he's, you know, a lot smaller. Astro Train, I'm not going to transform. Now here's another one he actually featured alongside. In one of the seasons he featured alongside the Throttlebots. Because he's like, Throttlebots, charge! And of course, yeah. Let's not go there, shall we? I don't think he featured alongside the Minibots. But still. Ultra Magnus is a great, great piece. He first featured in the Transformers 1986 movie. Hence the line I issued at the beginning of the video where he's commanding the other Autobots to do stuff because they know that they're all under attack. I don't think he featured anywhere before that. I don't know if the last episode of Season 2 he featured in of G1, because I would like to know if there was some little prequel to how the Autobots and Decepticons got to where they were before the G1 movie happened. I would have liked to have seen that. If not, I have to make a fan prequel or something. Speaking of another Decepticon, here is with Astro Train. As you can see, Astro Train is tiny. It's like a small child compared to him. I will transform Grimlock right now. I'm going to transform my Nemesis Prime as well, because I do think you should see how how the Optimus Prime cab type would compare against the full Ultra Magnus body type. it's pretty interesting to see. Here is, so you've seen Grimlock in his T-Rex mode. He was in robot mode, a lot smaller. Too small to, not, if you want to argue he's very small. Just get the metal fists out of not Ultra Magnus, of Nemesis Prime. Again, if I had a G1 Prime, I'd be doing size comparisons all fucking day long, pardon my language. I have a massive problem with swearing, unfortunately. But, Nemesis Prime does have a gun. It's basically a pewter version of that, but I just cut the top handle off that he's holding. And here he is. And if I just fit them both on there, you can sort of see that Ultra Magnus is about nearly a third of the size, which is interesting. I find that quite interesting, to say the least. Yeah, he's decently in scale. To compare him to a NECA figure, I think he's about maybe 9 to 10 inches tall from head height, because a NECA figure's pretty big. Here he is with Stealth Force Bumblebee. Do like this. It's really good. I got it for $139 at the charity shop, so as you can see, he's pretty big. That's the movie Bumblebee. We've not seen Ultra Magnus yet in the movies, although that remains to be seen. What have I not done him in scale with? HUD cap. That's my final G1 I've got to do a scale with, because I don't have many G1s. I aim to save up for Metroplex next, because I do like him. Here is a HUD cap, Minibot. As you can see, HUD cap is fucking tiny. Ultra Magnus was the next Prime, sort of. Not officially. He was given the Matrix of Leadership by Prime. Obviously, Prime, that was one of Prime's biggest mistakes. Not because Ultra Magnus was bad, but the Matrix just didn't choose Ultra Magnus. It chose Hot Rod, and in the voice of Optimus Prime, it said, "Arise, Rodimus Prime," and that's when, he defeated Galvatron. But however, Ultra Magnus did actually meet his demise in the 1986 movie. He got blown to bits by the sweeps. Because Galvatron said, "Magnus, I want the Matrix." Magnus, obviously as a hero, replied, "Never." And Galvatron said, "Sweeps, terminate him!" The sweeps fired at him, holding the Matrix. He dropped it. Ultra Magnus fell to the ground and blew up into pieces. And after the Autobots' quick little confrontation with the Junkions and Retgar, the Junkions decided to rebuild Ultra Magnus, and Ultra Magnus was then good. Quite happy to see his mates all alive, but still surprised. Of course, they were gutted by the fact that the Matrix was gone, and then, of course, they went off to battle Unicron. And so Ultra Magnus died in the movie, but you couldn't really say it was official death, because he technically got brought back. Which makes you think they could have just taken Optimus Prime to the Junkions and had him repaired. But to be fair, Ultra Magnus was blown to bits and his spark might have still been active, whereas Optimus Prime suffered a very fatal wound. And, it killed him off. It basically killed him. Unlike Season 4, where Optimus Prime got revived by weird shit in Season 3. Either way, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just try and find Season 3 and 4 on DVD. It'll explain everything, because Optimus Prime gets resurrected as a zombie, and in Season 4 he gets resurrected official and is officially back. That's right, Optimus Prime may have died in the movie, but in Season 4 of the Transformers, he comes back. He comes back and is all badass and faces off Galvatron. In fact, for saving the whole universe from the Spore Plague, Galvatron actually says to him, "There is no war today, Optimus Prime. You have earned Galvatron's respect." Which I think is really nice, because it showed that Galvatron actually had a good side to him. The fact that he respected Optimus Prime. He had a decent respect with Prime for saving the universe. Of course, that didn't last long, but it showed that Galvatron was willing to cooperate, because he did cooperate with Prime at some point, even though he was still a bit of an insane nutter and tried to kill off everyone. But still, that's not about Prime, and Galvatron's about Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus did actually get infected by the Spore Plague. Rodimus Prime actually tried his best to avoid him, but eventually when Retgar got infected, Rodimus Prime then obviously got infected by Retgar. Because Retgar joined. In fact, funny thing is, Retgar in the actual Season 3 and 4 did not speak in his TV talk he actually spoke more like a normal person, or Cybertronian. Which is quite interesting. But still, that's a bit of backstory. Ultra Magnus is a stoic leader. He's even quite modest, because when Prime gave him the Matrix, Ultra Magnus was like, Prime, I'm just a soldier, I'm not worthy. And of course Prime then uttered the lines, nor was I, but one day in Matrix, a leader shall rise from our ranks, and all that stuff. So really, Ultra Magnus is a modest, stoic, pretty good hero. So I'm just frightening around Megatron's cannon parts. Yeah, he's a great figure as well. I do like a bit of the inaccurate detail of how the windscreen comes through here. I do like it, actually. It's really good. So, if you're going to get him, get him. I'm just going to give you a quick 360. Of course, I do like to angle the feet in a bit to kind of keep it flush. Of course, this whole piece back here is metal. Unfortunately, his Ultra Magnus mode doesn't have any die cast. There's no die cast in him. Which stinks, really. I would have liked to maybe seen these feet parts, this big foot part be die cast. At least the cab has die cast in it, but the actual trailer body has no die cast in it, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not in the world. Still, pardon me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh wow, my junk symptoms actually worn off. I've been the Archangel, reviewing a fantastic G1 Ultra Magnus, the last of the Diaclone Transformers to be released. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'm wondering who to review next. Maybe Grimlock or something? I'm not sure. Even though Grimlock will be a difficult one because I have no accessories for him. But I do know quite a bit about his backstory and how he came to be. So with that, I'll leave you with a good shot of this figure, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.